Hello, everypony, and welcome to another reading of a fan fiction. Today, I will be reading The Plague by Pastel Inc., requested to me by Star Wars Fan 73. I have not read this at all. I only went down once and read one line, and the line was, "Oh, Apple Bloom, I'm going to... oh." So this should be interesting. The lifelessness of this year's winter had taken its toll on Ponyville. All of its citizens were cold and lethargic. No pony wanted to do anything but stay inside of their homes and sleep away the hours. All except Pinkie Pie, who was prancing through the streets, catching as many snowflakes as she could on her tongue. "Winter is the best time of year. Why doesn't any pony want to come outside and play in the snow? This stuff is like ice cream," Pinkie giggled to herself. She continued her frolicking with her tongue out until she suddenly slipped by a patch of ice, and her face touched the bottom of an ice-cold sign. She opened her eyes and giggled to herself in her mind that she was about to say, "Whoopsies," when she realized that her tongue had stuck to the sign and she was helplessly laying there in the cold. She tried to scream for help, with the snow all around Ponyville made it difficult for a shout to help to go very far. All the other ponies were inside, either sleeping or too depressed because of the weather to get out of bed. So, Pinkie lay there, for what seemed like hours, shivering and alone, but after some time, Apple Bloom and Sweetie Belle were skiing out of control and crashed into an empty stand that had been left out. "I guess we can check skiing off the list, Apple Bloom said in a daze. "We shouldn't be trying to get our cutie marks with Scootaloo anyway," said Sweetie Belle. "Yeah, I guess you're right." Apple Bloom had a disgruntled look on her face. The fillies looked over and saw a half-buried Pinkie Pie laying in the snow. Her eyes were closed. "Hey, Pinkie Pie, what are you doing out there in the snow?" "Pinkie Pie?" asked Sweetie Belle as she moved in on her. Pinkie wasn't moving, and the fillies became worried. They noticed Pinkie's tongue had caught to the sign as they proceeded to yank and pull until she was free. The little ponies then dragged Pinkie to the nearest house to ask for help. The nearest house happened to be Scootaloo's. The little ones knocked furiously on the door, but there was no answer. They had no time to waste, and they rushed over to the next house, which was Lyra and Bonbons, to get some help. They took Pinkie inside and got her warmed up in bed with some soup and warm head wraps. She was in good care. However, after the fillies had stopped worrying about Pinkie, Sweetie Belle thought back to Scootaloo. She found it really strange that Scootaloo hadn't shown up at the Cutie Mark Crusaders' headquarters today, and she didn't answer the door when they desperately needed her to. "Well, now that Pinkie's all right, I think I'm gonna go check on Scootaloo. She's been acting really weird, don't you think?" "Yeah, you're right. I'd love to come, but Big Sis really has a big apple coda to meet this season, even if nothing's growing," said Apple Bloom. "All right, official Cutie Mark Crusader business for today is complete." The fillies high-hooved and Apple Bloom trotted home. Sweetie Belle thanked Lyra and Bonbon for taking care of Pinkie and headed to Scootaloo's house, which was next door. She knew that the door wouldn't be answered, but she tried again anyways. No different result. She peered into the window while standing on a stack of hay and saw Scootaloo rubbing herself under the light fire in her living room. "Ooh, why am I doing this? Why does this feel so good?" Sweetie Belle was watching the display in awe and confusion from the window. "Is this why Scootaloo didn't show up today? What is she even doing?" asked Sweetie Belle while staring at her friend. "Oh, my gosh, this just feels so good. I can't stop." Just then, Cheerilee walked in and lay beside Scootaloo and began kissing her neck from behind. "Sis, why are you doing this?" "Don't worry. Your teacher will teach you something new." She was looking deep into her sister's eyes. "I'll take care of you. Just lay back." Cheerilee rested her sister's head in her arms and began helping Scootaloo rub herself. She placed her hoof on Scootaloo's and moved it back and forth. "Sis, this is weird. Can't we stop? No, please, sis, please." "You're a good girl. I guess we can move on." Cheerilee laid Scootaloo on the pillows and moved in front of her and laid down herself. "I'm going to put my mouth on it now. Again, just lay there, and I'll make you feel good." "Sis, please, can we stop? I can't take this anymore." Without saying anything, Cheerilee began licking Scootaloo's a special place. Her tongue moved in and out and dragged saliva all across her sister's lips. Sis, don't! Put your tongue... I can't... The playful sister kept licking her insides and began rubbing herself as she did so. Are you almost there? Asked cheerily. Almost where? Stop. The sisters began licking and rubbing harder. Scootaloo at this point was rubbing herself besides her sister's tongue. Scootaloo, panting, became more frantic. I always found this so adorable, like when I read the stories like this, when they say this line right here. Sis, I feel like I'm going to pee. What's happening? That is so adorable. Cheerily was about to climax herself. Sis! Scootaloo let out a scream of intense joy as her sister finished. Cheerily bit down on a pillow as she reached climax shortly after. The sisters lay there in their living room, panting and sweaty. Sweetie Belle pulled her head down from the window and got down from the hay. Her expression was shocked, and she made her way home and waited for Scootaloo the next day. The next day at school, Scootaloo was already in the classroom with Cheerily, their teacher when the rest of the students began walking in. When Sweetie Belle walked in, she noticed that Scootaloo and the teacher were exchanging awkward looks. Hey, Scootaloo, how are you feeling? Sweetie Belle was genuine in her concern. Scootaloo just looked at her and fell to her desk. Hey, Sweetie Belle, Scootaloo, what are we going to do today to get our cutie marks? Apple Bloom asked innocently enough. Well, we could try something I just learned yesterday. Scootaloo was interrupted by the teacher. No talking during my lesson, or I might just have to keep you after class. No thanks, sis. The bell rang. Scootaloo dragged all the others away, and they rode to their headquarters on her scooter. They locked themselves inside, and Scootaloo put on the act that wasn't really like her at all. You guys, I don't know how to say it, but I think I did something bad. Something really bad. Well, whatever it is, Scootaloo, you can tell us, Apple Bloom assured her. Just then, Applejack popped from the window. How y'all doing? Can I get you anything? No thanks, sis. We're good, exclaimed Apple Bloom. Well, that's just dandy, but, little Sugar Cube, we need your help to catch these sneaky little varmints that made off with all of our apples. Oh, well, sorry, guys. Looks like I'll see you later. We'll talk later, okay? As she ran off with her sister. Well, Sweetie Belle was more excited than ever. What happened? Why are you suddenly so interested, Sweetie Belle? Asked Scootaloo. I kind of saw you yesterday. Scootaloo turned around to hide herself. Oh, you saw that, huh? Well, that shortens what I was going to say. But Scootaloo, why were you and your sister doing those things? What were you even doing? Sweetie, have you ever tried it? It's better than any cutie mark. No, but something just felt off about it. Why would you do that kind of thing with your sister? I couldn't help myself. It just felt so good. And you know, I wouldn't mind trying it with you. Scootaloo closed her eyes and began to lean in on Sweetie Belle. Well, thanks, but no thanks. I just remembered I have something to do. Bye. Sweetie Belle ran for Fluttershy's house to ask for help. Fluttershy! Fluttershy, I need your help! Something's wrong with Scootaloo! Open the door! She was pounding furiously on the door. This seemed familiar. No answer at the door. Sweetie Belle didn't need to peer into the window. She could hear the sounds emanating from behind the door. Rainbow Dash, it's been fun and everything, but I would appreciate it if you would just leave now, if it's alright with you. Fluttershy was being backed into a corner. Aw, but we haven't even started yet. You'll miss all the fun if I leave now. Rainbow Dash slowly flew closer towards Fluttershy, practically pinning her to the wall. You know, Fluttershy, I've always really liked you. Rainbow Dash was blushing. Well, thank you, Rainbow Dash. I like you too and everything, but still. You do? Oh, that's gonna make this that much easier. Rainbow Dash's eyes were half open and she was blushing. She landed in front of her friend and put her hoof behind her head, then leaned in. You're a good friend, Fluttershy. Sweetie Belle was listening to the entire thing from behind the door, alone in her thoughts. Rainbow Dash leaned in and began kissing and licking Fluttershy's neck. Rainbow, Dash, Stop. This isn't what friends should be doing. Fluttershy, this was bound to happen. Aren't you just glad that it's your friend who's doing it and not some pony else? Rainbow Dash was trying to calm her struggling friend. Oh, I don't know. It's just that I wanted to save this for a special Colt when he came along. It's always good to practice before your big performance, right? Rainbow Dash explained. Well, I suppose. Fluttershy hesitated still. Rainbow Dash pushed her knee up against Fluttershy's special place and started moving her entire body up and down by flying. Rainbow, stop. That feels too good. Rainbow Dash resumed kissing her friend's neck and rubbing her with her knee. Rainbow, stop. Ooh. Fluttershy's face was completely red, and all she could do was lay in the corner and accept Rainbow Dash. Rainbow Dash pulled back. Lay on your side now. Fluttershy did so without hesitation. She wanted to feel even more of Rainbow Dash. Fluttershy lifted her leg, and Rainbow Dash grabbed a hold of it and moved in. Their lower bodies touched as there was a brief moment of pleasure of contact between the two of them. I'm going to start move it. Before she could finish, Fluttershy had already began on her own. Fluttershy, wait! Oh, I didn't say go! There was no response. Fluttershy was already drowning in pleasure. This is just amazing. Rainbow Dash, why haven't we done this sooner? There was no talking after that. The two just kept rubbing against each other and exchanging moans of pleasure. I think, Rainbow Dash, I'm almost done. Me too. No way you're gonna beat me, Rainbow Dash challenged. The thrusting got faster and faster. I'm going to... Oh. I don't feel like narrating that cry of pleasure, so I'm not going to. The two had finished at the same time. There were a few moments of panting before Fluttershy climbed on top of Rainbow Dash and gave her another passionate kiss. Let's do this again soon, if it's all right with you. Yeah, of course. Tomorrow, same time, same place. Oh, that would be lovely. Rainbow Dash left through the front door, and Fluttershy stared at her as she flew away, and then went back inside. Sweetie Belle popped out from the hedge she was hiding in and just started walking away. Achoo! She sneezed. She had gotten a cold from being out in the snow for so long. She limped back to her sister's house to get some rest. Rarity! She yelled through the building. What is it, my dear? Rarity was working on her latest winter boot design. It was a relief to see that at least some pony wasn't doing strange things. Achoo! Oh my heavens, I told you that you shouldn't be playing out in the snow for too long. Well, actually, Rarity, Don't speak! Save your energy! I'm going to take you to the doctor right away. I imagine you'll want to join your friends tomorrow in your little clubhouse, so let's get you some medicine to get you better as quickly as possible. Fine, she said reluctantly. When they arrived at Dr. Hooves' office, he showed Sweetie Belle to a bed where she could rest for a while. I'll go get the medicine, announced the doctor. Well, I'll come back to check on you in a few hours. Do try to get some sleep, all right? Said Rarity. Okay, sis. I have something I want to talk to you about when you get back, though, Sweetie Belle said in a sickened voice. Oh, but of course, dear. Goodbye now. Rarity left, leaving Sweetie Belle alone in the doctor's bed. You like parties, don't you? Sweetie Belle heard a familiar voice coming from one of the other beds in the room. They all had curtains around them. Who said that? Sweetie Belle became worried. You like parties, don't you, Sweetie Belle? The voice was a bit less sickly this time. I guess I do. Sweetie Belle didn't know what else to say. I do too, but I think I found something better than parties. Pinkie Pie opened the curtain to Sweetie Belle's bed and shared an expression of sickly happiness. Do you want to know what I found? It's really good, and I'll share it with you. Pinkie's voice was slightly hazy.